Well, that brief break in fighting between the U.S. and Iran, it's over. The two sides are trading airstrikes once again, and for the first time, Saudi Arabia acknowledging that its forces joined a U.S. attack. The airstrikes targeted an Iranian-linked militia in Iraq, and they happened earlier today after the U.S. says it intercepted a surprise Iranian missile launched at American troops in Jordan. And we have seen a number of airstrikes into Iraq since the war began back in February. Iraq itself has stayed out of the conflict. I've asked Julia Chapman to look at this. And Julia, help us understand what the U.S. is saying about the threat from Iranian-backed militias that are in Iraq.
Well, it does certainly seem to be suggesting that that is a bigger threat because U.S. Central Command says its forces, alongside the Saudi military, targeted weapons and logistics sites in eastern Iraq. It says they were belonging to terrorist groups, as they put it, who they accuse of carrying out drone attacks ordered by Iran's Revolutionary Guard. Now, the Iranian-backed militias in Iraq say 20 of their fighters have been killed and at least 30 were injured. Now, Saudi Arabia accuses these groups of recent drone attacks that we've been seeing against Saudi oil sites. Saudi Arabia says that they were ordered by Iran's Revolutionary Guard, although Iran has denied this. But Saudi Arabia is increasingly being drawn into this conflict. We've also seen the Houthis, another Iranian proxy group in Yemen, target shipping in the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, which is the other global trade pinch point in the Middle East, along with what we've been hearing a lot of, the Strait of Hormuz. And that has really affected the Saudis and their oil exports, which has really led to what the action has been today.
Iran's also been targeting U.S. bases with missile attacks, bases that are in the Middle East. Tell us more about that.
Well, the lull in fighting between the U.S. and Iran is well and truly over. The U.S. military says Tehran attempted what it described as a surprise missile attack against U.S. bases in the region. Iran says that this was a response to U.S. aggression. It didn't specify what it was a retaliation for. But Iran also says it struck 3 oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz, accusing them of using an unauthorized route, although those attacks haven't been confirmed. But the reports alone have sent oil prices rising again after they had dipped over the weekend. And there is no sign, David, of any resolution over the waterway, as we're hearing today that Iran has rejected a proposal from Oman for how the two countries could jointly manage it.
Julia Chapman, thank you very much.